Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of What It Takes to Be a Rock Star. I'm super excited because this week I'm talking with Dan Barrechia of the band Shred Flintstone. Shred Flintstone is a really super fun garage rock band, I would say. They do have a bunch of different sides to them, but definitely rock and roll. Definitely super fun shows. There's usually people going wild at their shows, and the band's going wild at their shows. So, very fun shows to see. And me and Dan go way back. We've been playing shows, our bands have been playing shows together since 2016. And I think he started Shred Flintstone in 2017, but we were playing with his old band, Gene Pool. My band, Fancy Moon, was playing with his band, Gene Pool, back in 2016. And anyway, I really wanted to talk with Dan because we've kind of lived parallel lives with music in that we're both from New Jersey and we've both been commuting into Brooklyn and New York City to play for years. And we've both become a part of the Brooklyn, New York City scenes, but it's kind of a different kind of life when you're commuting into the city to play versus just living there and being like 15 minutes away from a venue. So I really wanted to talk to him about that. And also, I wanted to talk to him because recently he was explaining on a post that he took some time off from his band because he wanted to reassess his priorities with music and just reassess why he's doing it and what it's been feeling like for him. So I wanted to ask him about that as well. And also, I wanted to talk to him because, according to him, he's a shy person, and I could totally relate. I'm pretty introverted, even though I decided to do music and also um, do a podcast. But we talked about how it is navigating being shy, but also having a very large stage presence because I've watched his stage presence grow and grow over the years and become a little more wild. And so we talked about that too, and about why he started doing music and a whole bunch of other stuff about social media and navigating that as a person in a band. And I hope you enjoyed this conversation. And I just want to remind everyone that you can watch these conversations on YouTube as well. And I'll link that in the description below. Make sure to check out the links in the description because there's lots of fun stuff there. I have a Discord channel open where people discuss the latest episodes. It's all free to join. And I also have a playlist of all the bands that have been on this podcast. So check everything out in there and enjoy the conversation. You have been doing Shred Flintstone since what year?
I think I maybe came up with the idea of the band in 2016 and released some music in 2017. I think
Okay.
that was like the beginning. End
Okay.
of 2016, beginning of 2017.
Okay. And
Yeah.
what did you do before that?
That's when I had that band Gene Pool that we played, I think is
Right.
when we first played together with.
Okay.
And that's with like my good friends, Dan DiCaprio and
Yeah.
Brad and that whole crew and Paul. Um, and yeah, and then I just started my own thing and Shred is now, I don't know, what was that, 10 years ago, I guess?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Happy 10-year anniversary.
something like that. I don't know when the exact date is, but yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. What did you do something before Gene Pool?
I played, no, not really. That was
Mm-hmm.
like, I like released some demos under my name.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I maybe played an acoustic show or two,
Mm-hmm.
but before that, the first show I played would maybe was like an acoustic show or my high school talent show. And then it
Wow.
was like, yeah, so it was something like that, yeah.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
cool.
Gene Pool was like the first band I was really in. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. How long did that last?
I think that was maybe like 2 or 3 years, something
Okay.
like that. Yeah.
Wow. So Shred's like your second band.
Yeah, yeah.
That's so cool. I love that. Like when I don't know. I just love that so much when I feel like I've been in like too many bands, you know? That I love it when someone's like, "Yeah, I just did it." And then like here I am and all this
I
awesome
kind
stuff
of
happened.
I kind of wish I had that experience though, where I just never has worked out playing in different projects. I've never gotten really the opportunity to that sounds fun too, to be able to play in a bunch of different bands. So
It is, but it's also there's something really nice about just like focusing on one thing. So,
yeah,
yeah. And
yeah.
I didn't get an opportunity to play in other bands until like 2017. And I was, for years, I was like, why doesn't anyone ask me to play? You know, you're like, what's going on? But most of the time, they're like, we thought you were too busy to want to even do anything,
Yeah,
you know?
because you're Francie Moon, so it's like that's what you're doing to most people, you know?
Right. And then, someone asks you, and you're like, yeah, I want to do it.
Yeah, of
So,
course I would want to do it. Yeah,
yeah.
what do you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about that too because I was like, I wonder if anyone asks him or they just think you're too busy and too cool to do it, you know?
I don't know if it's the too cool. Maybe just the too busy part. I don't know about the
Yeah.
too cool part. Um,
So that's cool. The Shred's your second band. And but you've been through like a lot of different lineups.
yeah.
Yeah. What's that been like?
I mean, now it's just I'm trying to think. I've played with so many different people have played like in the band, and I've just kind of accepted that at this point it's just like I keep the project moving forward, and whoever's down to play with me that I like to play with is like in the band, and there's no strict lineup. Like right now I have a lineup that I kind of want to stick to and not really play without. But yeah, for a while it was kind of just lots of different people in and out, and that's how it had to be for it to keep moving forward. Um, but yeah, I mean, it started. Do you know Greg Furlong? He's from Wharton or Rockaway area.
Yeah, that name sounds
He's a drummer.
super familiar sounding.
He was like the first drummer of the band.
Okay.
And yeah, and then ever since then it was for like most of the time it was a rotating lineup until the past year or two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that like I mean, you said you want to like keep these people now. Does it stress you out? Did it stress you out when you had to have like a rotating lineup, or were you like, this is fun because there's a lot of new energy coming in?
Well, I'm trying to think. I guess when I was younger, um, you know, there was one point where like, people had quit the band and things weren't necessarily on the best terms. And that was a hard time, I would say, because it was like it was a band. And it's like going through a breakup, you know? It's like a romantic breakup, practically. And so that was around, I don't know, maybe like 4 years ago. And that was a hard time. But ever since then, it's been like just kind of play, have played with who's down. And I'm really lucky to where it's gotten now where I have like Caitlin and Lucy and Taylor Mitchell who, uh, who play with me. But if there was ever a good opportunity that popped up and they couldn't make it, I'd probably, find some fill-ins and stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
for the most part, they're who I go to first for any show that comes up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's like really standard right now, and I don't know if it's just because like we're getting older and people have different things going on in their lives, so everyone's a little more understanding about having fill-ins. I feel like back in the
Yeah.
day, I don't know, it was not as normal to just like every band I know now, they're just the word fill-in is like, yeah, whatever, like someone else can just
Yeah.
do it, and like I feel like when you're younger, it probably like people's feelings were more hurt from that, but now it's just like so
Yeah.
matter of fact that it's like it's very rare to see a band with a full lineup that sticks with it all the time, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I mean, I'm literally only at this point doing this because I love doing it. So there's not going to be a situation that I do where it's not something fun, or exciting to me. And like if it's an exciting opportunity and someone, like you said, if someone can't do it and I just got to have other people play, it's no big deal because everyone is doing their own thing. Like everyone I play with, like Caitlin has her own project, Lucy makes music in multiple different projects, and Taylor's just like in his own world. And like so there's no expectations on anybody to do anything. It's really laxed where I'm at with this project,
Yeah.
I would say. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's probably getting older and more mature and a little more calm inside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you were kind of messing around. I don't know. I'm trying to get a feel for it, but you were messing around with like doing solo stuff too recently.
Yeah. 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 I go through phases sometimes. I need to try things out, I think. And last year I'd kind of hit this wall with Shred like over the summer and I just didn't feel any motivation to do it anymore. And I was really bummed about it and bummed about music and I wasn't liking how I was feeling about music and I was like, I shouldn't feel this way. So I need to not be booking shows. I need to not do anything because I'm not supposed to feel this way. And I just wanted to get over my fear. I was really scared of posting on the internet for a while, like of anything, and that was really holding me back, I think. So I started just posting like acoustic videos of myself on TikTok just to kind of get over my fear of putting myself on the internet. And I was doing that for a bit, and then I got tired of that, and I was like, I want to do shred again. And that was like, that was pretty much what that was. Yeah.
I feel like that's very relatable for a lot of
Yeah.
musicians right now. Like, oh, I gotta post because, you know, actually, I'm really curious what you think about it because you post. I saw your TikTok. It was like doing
Yeah.
really well. Like people were,
Oh,
watching
yeah.
and
Yeah.
commenting, and they were like, "I love this song," or what was it? Proof that your lyrics that you can say random stuff for lyrics,
Yeah,
right?
I don't even know how that platform works. I just put random shit on a video and yeah, I don't know. I
I
but I
like
got tired of it really quick, honestly.
Yeah,
Like,
it is pretty like brain rotting, but at the same time, it's like it's pretty crazy that you can put up a video and then like 7,000 people, randomly will see it and hear
yeah,
your song and hear your music, but then like you can go out and play a show with a band you never played with and maybe, 50 people will see you that never saw you before, and it's kind of like, it might be a show that sucks or not, but
mm,
it's like there's such a big difference between like a post that does really bad and then a show that does really bad is like a whole night of your life. And even on a good night, it's like you can't even reach that amount of people. So I feel like the posting thing has become this necessary evil for a lot of musicians, but it does get old
yeah.
really
I
fast.
I think for a while I was really pissed off about that, and I've just like accepted that I can use it as a tool when I feel in like a healthy place with it and when I need to not when I can't use it because it becomes unhealthy, then I don't use it. And I've been learning to find a better balance with it than in the past. Because I agree, you can really have a good reach with it, and that's how most people nowadays are finding music and consuming it. And it has ups and downs to it for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm over talking shit about it at this point, but I at the same time know my limits with it too,
Yeah.
or my boundaries with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good because, there's so many times, you just want to like delete it and then in the back of your head you're like, but what if like,
Right.
your next post.
Well, because it's like it's like a TikTok especially plays on kind of a lottery thing, like they design their algorithms to be like playing a slot machine almost. But yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It really is.
Yeah.
People call it that too. They're like, "Here's my lottery ticket," and then they like,
Yeah, so it's like you have to have I at least have to have some sort of boundaries with it and use it when I feel like I can use it in a healthy way. And then if I start to overthink it and become stressed about it, then I have to back off of it.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. I'm glad you've figured that out.
I don't know. This
Yeah.
is like a brand new thing in human evolution. So like, or de-evolution. I don't know what it is, but I think we're all figuring it out.
Yeah.
Artists are at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last year, was it last year you went on, did you go on a pretty long tour last year? Or was it the year before? It was last
Yeah,
year,
this
right?
past spring. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. How did you book that tour?
I just booked it myself.
Yeah.
I just because we played Treefort Fest in Boise, which is like my favorite one of my favorite festivals, primarily because they asked us to be a part of it, but like it's actually such an awesome festival, and it's all like nonprofit sponsors, and it's a very wholesome community there. But got asked to play that festival, and I was just like, I want to drive out there, but it's not worth it to drive there if we're not playing shows there and back. So started like half a year beforehand booking shows and just at the finish line got a tour booked right before kind of heading out. So, but yeah, those all just emails and DMs and stuff on my part.
How did Tree Fort just like email you one day? How did that happen?
No, they have submissions.
Okay.
And my friend um, Tyler Bertram he's from Oregon. Um, he's probably photographed you before at one of your shows, honestly. He was like connected with the people there, and he put in a word for me to one of like the people, and I think that kind of made him consider us a little bit. And yeah, ever since that was 2 years ago, yeah, they accepted us, and then they accepted us again last year. So, but yeah, it's just they have open submissions to anybody. Anybody can submit to it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love hearing success stories about open submissions like that because sometimes, you feel like you're sending out submissions and emails and it's just like into the void. And even though
Yeah.
you had a good word, that really helps, but sometimes they just say yes, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once in a while,
Yeah.
someone says yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very rarely.
Yeah. I think
I've gotten
they're
a lot of rejection emails too, so.
at least you got an email. A lot of those are just like ghosting, you know?
How do you deal have you ever gotten like an email from someone or like a rejection email of some sort, and how do you deal with that if you have? Because I have. I don't know. Maybe you haven't because you're awesome, but
No,
like
no.
I've got
I just get like ghosted most of the time.
that is how most people deal with it.
Yeah. Yeah. But
But
I've gotten ghosted, but I actually tried like Submit Hub stuff recently and
that's the worst.
yeah.
That's the worst thing you could possibly do if you're worried about getting negative feedback on your art.
Yeah, I know.
That's the worst thing.
Yeah, they're brutal. It's like these playlist people who think they're like,
Who do
you
they
know,
think they are?
they think they're like the hand of God that picks the
Jeez.
best playlist in the world, and then when they reject you, they go hard.
They are
Like,
not nice about
yeah,
it.
yeah. One guy I remember he was like, obviously you focus way harder on your live. It was like it wasn't that mean, but he was just like you obviously focus on like live music more than your recordings and like this is not ever gonna work in this format blah 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 and like I kind of get mad when they first give it. and
Yeah,
and then
you
I
see,
go
you
ahead.
have to get mad a little bit. You're lying if you don't get a little mad.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if like anyone is out there who wants to just like hurt a little, feel something, they could
Some
just
masochists, yeah.
yeah send something to Submit Hub.
Go on Submit Hub and send some. If I ever see one of these people in public, I'm gonna point my finger at them and say, "Cut that out." There's something wrong with them.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sick freaks.
Yeah. I just want to take a brief moment here to thank our sponsor of today's video. Our sponsor today is Sorry Cables. Sorry Cables is my favorite cable company on the whole planet. They make amazing cables. If you're watching this, you can see the cable that I'm using right now. It's colorful, it's awesome. It's a Sorry cable. I use these cables when I'm playing shows. I use these cables when I'm recording. They're good quality. It's a very small business based out of Los Angeles, California, and it's great people, great product, great quality. Thank you, Sorry Cables, for sponsoring today's episode.
I sent an email to a booker. I don't want to like say where it was or what it was, but I sent an email to someone who books these like curated events, and like usually, like you said, people just ghost you, don't answer you, and then it was just, but I forgot that the way it was worded, it was so like, so we're very busy this year, and we're not going to be able to fit you in. It was something like that. It was like, why did you have to say that? Like, just don't, like, you didn't have to say that. You could just, anyway, it's okay though. It's part of putting yourself out there, I think. And
Yeah.
it's okay.
Oh,
And
yeah.
the chip on my shoulder used to be a lot worse. So I think I handle it better than I used to. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a smaller chip.
The chip has become a little friendly pet rather than a big monster.
Yeah. It's like it's hard to not have a chip on your shoulder sometimes when you're done DIY forever
Hmm.
because I think I don't know, when you book your whole tour, you're sending
Yeah.
out all these emails and then someone goes like, why are you playing that town? That's stupid, or like I've had people like literally email me like like your tour poster looks stupid, like you're playing
What
these
the
weird
fuck?
towns. Yes. And I'm like, what do you mean? But it's like they have no idea what it's like to book in a major city with like no
That's so
people,
weird.
it's just, yeah,
S-
people are weird.
Yeah. Sometimes the small towns though have the best crowds, the most engaged people, and those are the people that like stick with you for a while because you came to their small town. And I don't know. I'm all for small towns,
Yeah.
playing small towns. Yeah.
Yeah. Your tour that you did, was it you did Boise? You
Hmm.
How many dates was it? Do you remember?
Gosh, it was like 2.5 weeks, I think, and two, three, maybe did 7 shows on the way out, and then like 5 on the way back, something like that.
Nice.
Plus 2 at Treefort. Whatever that equals is the amount of shows it was. I don't remember.
Okay.
Let's say 14 shows,
14.
13, 14, something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Sweet.
Um, yeah, that was my favorite tours I've ever done, honestly. It was really fun. It was really stressful because I booked everything and had issues with the van. We had to get a new van halfway when we're like in the middle of the country, and that was really stressful. Um, but a lot of the shows were really great. Some of the best shows I've played. So
Sweet. What was the van? Was it a rental van?
was a rental van, and I didn't read the contract. So when we got to Chicago, I got a text on my phone that said, if you go any further west than Illinois, we're going to report the car stolen, and we're charging you an extra $50 every day that you have the car. And we've already charged you. You can't change it. So they charged me like double what I paid for the rental, and the car was stuck in Chicago. So we found, luckily, somebody was willing to let us park the van outside their house until we came back. And we had to just leave it there and get a new van and then do the rest of the tour with the other van, come back through Chicago, drop that one off, pick the old one up and drive that back.
No
So,
way. Are you
yeah, it
serious?
was
That's
very stressful.
crazy.
And I had to deal with all of that.
That sounds
It was a
horrible.
lot.
Wait, so you like double paid then?
Almost triple paid, I would
Triple
say for
paid? Oh,
yeah. Yeah.
that sucks.
I kept that one to myself until now. That was a only my bandmates knew about that one.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that's no, that's why I mean, people need to hear about this stuff because it happens
Yeah.
all the time. But it's like no T-shirt sale is gonna, make up for that
No.
one.
You think you're paying for one rental van and you end up paying for three rental vans by the end of your tour.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing. It's just like
No, it's
it's
really
just
funny. It is
ridiculous.
funny. If
Yeah,
I'm not laughing about this, then I'm crazy.
yeah,
I don't have a booking agent. No one's covering these costs for me. That was insane, but
yeah,
we made it work.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh. No, that is wild. Who was the person that let you keep the van in Chicago?
I forgot his name, but
That's okay.
he was a blessed angel,
Yeah.
and
It was like
and
a just a fan.
it was a friend of one of the bands we played with in Chicago,
Cool.
and he was very kind for letting us do that. And if he ever hears this, I love him very much.
Yeah.
And
I can cut it. I can cut it.
yeah,
Cut
no,
that question out.
you can keep it in. It's okay,
Okay.
but you could if you want to.
Yeah. Um.
I mean, you
Anyway.
meet a lot of people on the road. It's hard to remember. You know what I mean? You meet so many people,
Yes.
and you've toured even more than I have. So I can't even. You, you meet so many people.
Yeah.
It's a really ex interesting way to exist
And they all
and
know
get
your
around.
name somehow, right? They
Yes.
they all go, "Hi, Dan," and you
Yeah.
go, "Hey," and you're like
Yeah.
mentally, it's like the Dewey Decimal System in your head. You're like, which show? And they look so different. They have like a beard this year. They didn't have a beard last
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It
Um,
is cool. It's kind of a cool way to get around though. But
yeah,
yeah, it's a lot.
yeah. Um, have you always booked your own tours? Have you ever had help ever?
I've gotten help this year for the first time ever. I just kind of started talking to this guy and that who's booking a couple shows for Shred in the spring, for like just a 4 day southern run we're gonna do. But that's the first time anyone else has ever booked anything for Shred other than people within the band. So no, other than right at this moment, this is never anybody else has
Yeah,
booked anything.
it's a big
It's
moment.
it's not like a big company or anything. It's just like a small DIY operation that
Yeah,
like happens to like our music. But
that's cool.
yeah,
That's exciting. I feel like a lot of people are like, "Yeah, I'll just get a booking agent," and
it's not that simple.
no, no. Did they approach
No.
you? Is that how it happened?
Um, I think he like tagged me and posted one of our songs or something and tagged me in it, and I didn't see it till like 2 months later. And then I saw it and I was like, oh, these people seem cool. And I hit him up. I was like, let's do a show together. And we started talking, and then we're like, let's do a couple shows together. And it's just like that. Yeah,
Cool. That's
yeah.
awesome.
It's called Star Bloom Music. Um, just like a small little DIY thing, but
Cool.
it'll be good shows, I think. It'll be
Yeah.
fun.
Do you have a small town? You said you love small towns. Do you have one off the top of your head that you found like a gem of a scene or venue in that you can remember?
Like in anywhere in the US, kind
Mm,
of
mm-hmm.
Greensboro, South Carolina. No, Greer, South Carolina. We played in this barn there, and just all these like young punks come out to this barn in the middle of kind of nowhere, and that was such a crazy show. And that was like one of those shows where every single person in the place is moshing. It's not like 10 people or 20 people. It's like every person in the room is going equally as crazy,
Wow.
and you're in the middle of nowhere in a barn in Greer, South Carolina. So that was awesome. I love small towns like that always have the craziest shows. Like they always go the hardest. Um, where else? What about you? What do you have? Is anywhere come to mind for you? Because I know there's other spots. I just
Yeah. Oh man, I used to play like really fun shows in Stanton, Virginia or West Virginia, Stanton. Or oh
mm,
my gosh, there was this in a cornfield in Illinois. I had one of the craziest shows of my life, craziest
Oh
days of my
yeah.
life. Yeah. Um, there's a lot. I actually honestly haven't been to a good small town scene in a while
Mm,
though, because I've been playing like major cities, and
yeah.
it's honestly more depressing playing the major cities because you're just going like city to city to city, and they all kind of look the same to me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like I've been kind of feeling this little flame in my heart that's like, go to the
Yeah.
small towns, like they're so fun.
Put those small towns on your flyer
Yeah.
and own it. And anyone who messages you about playing small towns, I don't know, just like tell them to stop.
Yeah.
I don't, I don't know.
Yeah, no, my last episode, I just did a little update episode, and I was
Yeah.
talking about this new scene that popped up in Colorado
Oh
because
yeah.
yeah, this lady who listens to this podcast, Michelle, she just decided that like her town didn't have good enough situation for punks to hang out at, and
Yeah.
she heard Ozzy from Showbrain, who played
Oh,
with you,
yeah.
on the podcast, and she set up a show in like a garage because none of the venues would have a punk show because they were all like folk and country, like that was it.
Yeah.
And this whole, it's Longmont, Colorado, and it looks so fun. Every video she sends me, these, there's like everyone's moshing in the video. It looks
Look
super
what
fun.
Ozzy's doing. He's affecting the whole country,
I know.
apparently.
I know.
He would be stoked to hear that.
I know. I think I forgot to tag him when I put it in the in the episode.
That's inspiring. Good for her. Good for that scene.
Yeah.
Fort Collins is cool. I like
I
Colorado.
love Fort
Fort
Collins.
Collins is a good people go they go hard there.
You could go to the reservoir there too. Was it
I
Horseshoe
haven't been to the
Reservoir?
reservoir. No.
Yeah. The small town tours are great too because if you are willing to do them, then you can have small drives from small town to small town to small
Yeah.
town. And then you have time to actually like hang out and do stuff and like eat breakfast in the morning,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. I love a good tour breakfast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you, what's like your tour diet? Do you eat well or do you just eat like gas
I
station snacks?
I eat what I eat probably better than a lot of musicians because I know how other musicians eat on tour. On um I feel like in my day-to-day life I eat pretty well. So when I'm on tour it lessens. It's not as good because it's hard to, but I don't go crazy, but I will eat probably one too many Cliff Bars from like Exxon.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah. Just getting like fuel in like gasoline covered protein bars. It's I just like think of the smell of gas and a protein bar. And that feels like what my diet is on tours, like inhaling fumes and Cliff Bars. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah. What about you?
Oh, depends on the tour, but
Yeah.
with Gustav, we've gotten really lucky and get like a rider a lot now.
Yeah, that sounds really nice.
It is nice, however, it's not something that I have access to until around 6 or 7 p.m. And then if you're opening, you're probably like playing around that time,
Mm,
and then I get a stomach ache if I eat too soon before drumming.
yeah.
So I live off, well, I try not to anymore, but for a long time I lived off RX bars,
Mm.
which is, same deal, like protein bar.
That's the OG Cliff Bar.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just like a rock that just sits in your stomach
Yeah.
and lets you not be hungry all day, until you have access to like free blueberries at night. But
Right.
every once in a while I try to get a good pad thai in, you
Yeah,
know.
dude.
But
Love a good bad side.
yeah, but some tours I'm just definitely not eating enough, and other tours I'm like in Europe I'm eating great a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, touring Europe is really good because the food is actual food,
Right.
and I don't know. There's a difference between. I guess this is good to talk about on here too. There's a big difference between like how they treat musicians there and how they treat musicians here. The UK is kind of similar. You like, you could sell at a show and there'll be like you have to pay for full price for your pizza or something, and you're like,
Yeah,
"What? Come on." Like that doesn't make any sense. But in Europe, they're like, you want this like beautiful French meal before your show, and you sit down and you eat with the sound person, the door person, the promoter, the owner of the venue who's like pouring you wine. It's crazy.
it's like they actually care about musicians or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
crazy like that.
yeah, yeah,
That's a very foreign concept in America.
yeah. But speaking of musicians and caring about them and caring about ourselves, how do you how do you keep it all together on the road with like touring DIY? Do you work the year and then you take off um for tour?
I usually like will save up vacation days from my job so that I can take off. Um, yeah, I've usually always have been able to somehow manage to take off from my job to go on tour. I don't
Yeah.
know how, but I just save up enough days and then
Sweet.
yeah, that's been for the most part since I've got my recent job. But before that, I was just like working in restaurants and stuff and ending usually quitting those jobs to go on tour or do something like I would just there was a number of restaurant jobs I worked that I just like walked out and stopped working there like just so I could go do something else or go on tour or yeah, those were interesting times. So yeah, I
Did,
don't know.
at your job that you have now, is it like is it like hourly or salary?
It's hourly. It should be salary, but I think my company is just really cheap and tries to wants to give me the bare minimum. So, but
Classic.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But so when you go on tour, so you save up to go on tour, so you save up to buy the rental car 3 times,
Yeah,
right?
3 times.
Do you
Yeah.
pay your bandmates, or does everyone just like save up to go on
I
tour
mean,
too?
the past few tours that I've done have been I kind of cover everything because it's like I'm the one pushing the project forward and like doing everything and I'll cover the costs of everything and then kind of just split payments from there. So I'm kind of the one funding it all. Um, I don't really ask anybody else to pay for anything except maybe once in a while someone covers a tank of gas or something.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think if it was more of a collaborative project, it would be different, but it hasn't become that. So I feel like it's my obligation to cover things up front and then I usually lose money and then just pay everybody else. That's kind of how it ends up going. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like most bands right now that I am aware of their inner workings, it's operated in that model where the front
Mm.
person is paying for everything and losing a bunch of money, and then
Yeah.
and then the other people, they get paid, but those people, they might be like just breaking even from the food they're
Yeah,
buying that
exactly.
day.
Because they're buying food and they're not working too. So it's like
Yeah.
they're doing it just getting enough to make up for their time.
Yeah, it,
And
it, it hurts just less. It's like less of a
yeah,
blow. But yeah, the front person, it's like it could really add up.
yeah, which is like why I'm excited to do smaller runs at better venues and work with someone who's actually working to get us a guarantee and stuff. And that's kind of how I want to move forward with Shred is not that I'm over DIY touring necessarily. Like I'll still book stuff myself, but I just like I want to be a little more comfortable and not totally broke all the time. So I'm trying to just be more calculated and concise about how I play shows and where I play them and who booked them and the guarantees up front and stuff. So it's not so strenuous anymore, you
Yeah.
know. I yeah, that's kind of where I've gotten to with it. And luckily, Shred's not like a huge band or anything, but like it's at a point where we can get if I connect with the right people, can get like some decent shows around that'll at least pay a couple $100 and not $50. That's a big difference. People don't realize it's a big difference getting paid $400 and $50. It's like a huge difference for me at least. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm trying to go more in that range, in the former range than the latter
Right.
with moving forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's great because I think people need that kind of example set of like how to be in a band. And I know there's so many people who are like, it's not about the money, it doesn't matter. But when you're getting hit hard over and over and over again and losing money over and over again, it
Yeah.
becomes completely unsustainable to just like, yeah, let's play. Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, okay, cool. And then you're
Yeah.
like losing money over and over again. And then it's really nice to come from a place of like feeling like a human when you show up at a show rather than like
Yeah.
completely broken.
That's where I'm at. Like, because I did the broken thing point, just running myself into the ground. And that was what I mentioned earlier, kind of the wall I hit. I like hit a wall so hard because I had been just doing this for so long. And the stress of the finances, I'm still paying off some recording. I like just finished paying off an an EP I recorded like almost 3 years ago. And that's like crazy to me that it took me that long just to pay off recording like four songs. And that the stress of that and all this that paying for three rental cars and that shit, I was like, why am I doing this? I'm not, and now I'm just like, I just want to be calculated and with a calmer approach and actually do less, but make it better. Like, quality over quantity is kind of where I'm at right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, it's not kind of, it's definitely where I'm at. It's
Yeah.
absolutely where I'm at. Yeah.
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 Um. So how many shows like a month are you trying to do ish?
It it really all depends on kind of that what the shows are. I don't want
Mm-hmm.
to I'm not like trying to do maybe a local show every 2 months or
Mm-hmm.
so at the most. And then if I get a good opportunity to leave the state, leave the area, it really depends. Like I think like 3 or 4 shows if it's just Shred doing something on our own. But if a different opportunity presents itself, then obviously I'm open to to that. But that's kind of where I'm at in terms of just Shred stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. That's
And
cool.
and not forcing it. Like I don't I can't force it anymore. I have to just do this because I feel compelled to make music and art, and that has to be the driving force behind it. And I can't lose sight of that
Mm-hmm.
anymore because I used to lose sight of that a lot.
Yeah. No, honestly, I don't know. There's something about being in the like the city scene too that
Mm.
um you're just surrounded by people who are it seems like things come easy for them sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like it's like you keep seeing this happen over and over again and
Like
like
that's my thought is like I sometimes I'm like, is this I feel like I have a different fate in my life than some people that live maybe in New York City. And that's no knock on them. I think some people, if they have an easier time accomplishing things and doing things and being good at things and things work out for them easier, that's like that's great for them. I things have never been that easy for me. I don't know why. I'm just like constantly just like dropping things all over the place metaphorically for most of my life. And that's just, you know, been my life story. And I was like really resentful about that for a while, I think, because I know that this is part of another reason I stopped doing shred for like half a year is because I've known so many incredible musicians like over the years, and especially in New York City, like you just the best of the best come from like everywhere to New York and congregate there. And I was becoming resentful at how like easy it is for some people and how um and I was like, why do I feel resentment over this shit? I should not feel jealousy or anger or resentment or any of that. And now I'm at this point where it's like, yeah, no, it's my life story. I have a messy story. It's not things have not always been smooth or worked out perfectly for me. And I'm doing my best with that and still making the best art I can make. And that's just how it's been. And yeah, that's
Yeah. Yeah, no, I totally get it. And especially when you're driving in so far from somewhere else to play a
hmm
show and then it doesn't go like
Yeah.
how you want it to go, or it just doesn't feel like it's clicking or something. It's like it can be extremely frustrating, but I feel like that even that extra like commuting in to do
hmm
it is like, at least for me, I'm speaking from my own experience, that
Right.
like you just like, oh, I drove 2 hours for this.
Yeah. That's gotta be a thing in the room with you when you're there, you know? Like I
Yeah.
fucking came 2 hours to be here, you know?
Yeah, and maybe like 2 hours after work that day, and you're like you're destroyed by the time you show up
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
play the show, and then you're out till like 12 or something. Um, but I just want to say like the sheer like drive of someone who's been doing it DIY for so long is like, once someone like you're saying, someone, it's not that easy all the time, like once something does coast a bit, it's like the only option is for you. You're just gonna be like like flying, you know.
hmm
If something hits really well, it's like because of all the uphillness.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I've just, the reason I really wanted you on here is because me and you have been playing in like the same circles for like 10 plus years, and
Yeah.
I feel like our bands are kind of like
Yeah.
just like
We've crossed paths in so many different ways and
so many ways, yeah. And I felt like you're someone that can really speak to like freaking determination of just doing it, and like just wanting to do it and making it
yeah.
happen and having it happen, even if it's like, like changing band members. And I don't know, I feel like,
That's yeah, I feel like that's my strength is that maybe I'm not the most talented musician or the most well connected or the smoothest talker. I'm shy and I'm awkward and I barely know how to play the guitar or write music, but I just love music and the one thing I do have is like I don't I'm very like disciplined and determined and I think that's what's kept me going this whole time because I really love music and making it and playing live especially.
yeah.
Um, And yeah, I don't come from like a musical family. I don't have anyone in my family to relate to on this or and yeah, it's just been I've learned this all on my own pretty much. So yeah.
Yeah. What drove you to want to play guitar? Do you remember?
I don't know. I was like in high school. No, I was in middle school, I think, and my mom bought me a guitar. I just really liked Jimi Hendrix a lot. I loved Jimi Hendrix, and I was obsessed with Jimi Hendrix. And I remember my first phone I got, my ringtone was Voodoo Child,
That's awesome.
and I was I, I was just obsessed with Jimi Hendrix as a kid, and I was a lefty, and I just wanted to like play like Jimi Hendrix, and yeah, just something compelled me to do it. I felt like I was never that great at sports, and I was always sitting on the bench in sports, and I never had any of that going for me. And I felt like I felt like I had a lot inside of me that I needed to get out, and that music was. this uh key to do that was like my own special thing because I didn't even have friends that played music at the time. So yeah, I don't really know. It just felt like I needed to. It was like I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jimi Hendrix
What?
is the coolest.
Yeah. Like I feel like yeah, Jimi Hendrix is I'll always he's the goat for me.
Yeah.
What got you? How did you start? Do you have a musical family? Like what how did you
Yes.
start?
My mom taught me a little keyboard when I
Mm,
was little, probably around like 5. She just knows some chords, and she showed me and my sisters like how to read so little music and
yeah.
play, and we always sang together. Like I grew up in church, so we were always singing all the time. And then my sister wanted to learn how to play the drums when I was like 10. And
Older sister?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm the youngest. I have 2 older sisters, and the middle one wanted to learn how to play the drums, but she didn't want to go alone to drum lessons, so she asked me to come along. So I did. And then a couple years later, she dated someone who was like obsessed with punk and
Mm,
like classic rock and all Danzig, like all this crazy interesting
yeah.
stuff that I never heard before in my life. And then when I was 13, he threw on Led Zeppelin. The song remains the same. And I remember I was like so weirded out and confused for about like 10 to 15 minutes because it was like
Hmm.
the DVD, or we were watching it on VHS. And then I got like completely mesmerized by it, and then I just something clicked. I was watching Jimmy Page play guitar in his dragon pants, and I was like,
Yeah.
that's what I want to do. And I just like
It's
became completely obsessed.
it's always the thing that like right at the first time you hear it or see it, it makes you feel like almost turned off and scared of it and like weirded out by it. But that's like it sounds like that's what happened to you in those first 10 minutes or 15 minutes of watching that.
Yeah.
That's how I felt the first time I heard Limp Bizkit. It was that same like, what? This is so weird and wrong, but I love it for some reason. I don't know why. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Just I don't know if you've ever seen that song remains the same
I
video.
haven't seen it. No,
Oh
no.
my gosh, their outfits are just like ridiculous, and you never seen
What year was it filmed?
70 something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, Probably like mid 70s or
Mm,
late 70s. It was so good. It's so good. You should watch it.
I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah.
It sounds like
Yeah. It's still like my favorite thing ever.
so it was Jimmy Page was your Hendrix.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
But then when I heard Hendrix, like when I really
Hmm.
heard Hendrix, I remember people would be like, "Who's your favorite guitar player, Hendrix or Page?" And I actually would say Jimi Hendrix because I loved it was way more groovy.
Your playing style is more, I would say, in the Hendrix lane. If I had to compare you to either one,
Yeah.
so yeah,
Yeah.
I love your guitar playing style, by the way.
Thank you. You
Yeah,
too.
yeah. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I just kind of throw my guitar around, but
That's yeah. I wanted to talk to you about that too cuz your stage presence has wildly grown arms and legs of its own, I would say, cuz you
thanks.
yeah, like I don't know, we used to play the Meat Locker together like years ago,
Yeah,
and obviously you were great then, but as years went
no,
on,
I was all right. I was all right.
whatever, whatever. Um no, but like I don't know, the last few times I've seen you play, I'm like, wow, he's like, you're entertaining, super entertaining with like, doing the wild stuff like throwing gallons of water on your head and jumping into bushes and all.
I honestly, I appreciate you saying that it's entertaining because that's I was I've been worrying that I don't want to. I feel like I made it too much about the theatrics and not enough about the music. So I'm trying to dial it back a little bit
Gotcha.
and find a middle ground between those two parts of myself because I was getting a little carried away, I think, for a while. But at the same time, I love that part of performing. I think I realized like people are there to be entertained. They're not necessarily there to just watch you be great or whatever. Well, they are, some people are, but like so but I'm not that. Like I'm not like this like profound songwriter. I'm like but I want to entertain people and make people feel something. So how can I do that? And I look to like Iggy Pop or someone like that who's just pure like everything is out in the open, just purely not hiding anything. It's just completely raw power, like, pure. And that's a, pure chaos, pure whatever. That's, I don't want to hide anything on stage. I don't want to hide any part of myself. And that's how, I guess that's how I approach doing ridiculous shit or whatever. I'm just, I treat it like I'm like in my head, in those moments, I'm kind of like, I trick myself into thinking that I'm going to die after the show and that this is the last thing anyone's going to see of me. So that's kind of how I approach.
I
Like
was
I'm
gonna
gonna,
ask.
yeah, like in my head, that's what's going on. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna ask because you were like, I'm shy, and I think a lot of musicians are more shy than people expect. You know,
Mm.
because if especially if you're doing it because you were just randomly compelled one day when you were in middle school or whatever. Like it's just it chose you. You didn't choose
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, I was gonna ask how you handle that. Like you're shy person inside doing this stuff on the outside. But
That's like something my girlfriend Alexia brings up a lot with me. She's like, you have this ridiculous stage presence that seems like you be the most fearless, outgoing person, and then you're like have this reserved, quiet side to you when you're not on stage, and it's it's kind of disorienting, and I don't know how to wrap my head around being both of those things. Because like you said, people probably expect musicians or performers to be outgoing. Um, and I'm just not really, and it's hard for me to be. Um, it's weird. It's a weird dichotomy that I don't really understand, honestly.
yeah,
What do you think? What do you like? How do you approach that? Because you're a total badass on stage, and I don't take you as necessarily like shy, but I feel that you're not you have a more reserved side to you that is like a calmer, chill, reserved side. So I don't know how you feel about that, but
yeah. I definitely am like in regular life. Like
hmm
I'm the person who's like I don't want to make a phone call. I don't want to
yeah.
I don't want to order food. I don't want to make a
Yeah.
doctor's appointment.
Oh yeah, really?
Like I'm just
Wow.
I do it, but I'm like I'm my heart's beating before I do it.
Damn. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I don't like public speaking. It's random. I have a podcast, but honestly, it's like when it's something that I know and am comfortable with talking about,
hmm
it's fine. But like in school, if you were going around reading, and it was my turn next, my heart
Yeah.
was 3 feet away from me. Just
Damn.
yeah. But how I deal with it is I, I I remember it depends on who I'm playing with. Certain people they just
Mm.
bring it out of me. Like the songs can bring it out of me if you
Right.
really like this thing you're about to play, it's like way easier to go into it than like, if you're like, I don't like that riff anymore. It's like much harder to just like go kind of crazy. Um
Right.
but I remember one time specifically saying, like, I remember I looked at my bandmates because I was feeling kind of like trapped within myself, and I said, "I'm just gonna like let it like go." Okay. I just remember looking at them like, you guys are gonna be cool after, right? If I get like a little weird, and they're like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
fine. And then after that, I was like, yeah, if they don't care, like I don't care. And
Yeah.
I was just able to be like, all right, it's kind of like jumping off a cliff into a pool or something. You just got to be like, all right, just go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's jumping off a cliff, exactly.
Yeah.
And then and Oh, I think another thing I realized, like you said, I kind of changed a little bit as a performer. Another thing I realized, like that when I first started playing was like you have so much power when you're on stage over the room. I think when you're new to playing and maybe not as seasoned, you don't realize that maybe if you have, I used to get a lot of stage fright. You don't realize that everyone in the room is looking to you, and that gives you like command over how they're feeling. And I have to, I just realized like everyone in the room is probably also nervous a little bit because people at shows usually I get nervous when I go to shows to be in the audience. It's like people are nervous in the audience, so it's your job to make them feel something. It's not their job to make you feel good up there. And I think when that clicked for me, that's when I found a lot of freedom on stage, to do the weird shit.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
because when people are watching someone be weird, they feel more free to do it themselves. And then it's just kind of
Yeah.
this like, it's like a flower blooming. You know, someone has to start it though. And then
Hmm.
usually there's, there's those shows where everyone's kind of like standing
Hmm.
there all tight. But then, like, if one person just comes up to the front and starts dancing, then all of a
Yeah.
sudden, suddenly, the room kind of relaxes and it's like, oh, this is a fun show. you know?
Yeah. It's shows are interesting, but ultimately it's on the person on stage to create the energy and the vibe, even if the crowd is stiff, even if it is. Yeah, that's just something that has been a revelation in the past couple of years for me.
Yeah. Well, people need permission, or like they don't need it,
Hmm.
but they are searching for it. Like, let's
Yeah.
get weird. And I know you do that. You're like, come on, go in a circle. Like, come on,
Yeah.
everybody. And then all of a
Yeah.
sudden, everyone's like moshing and having a good time
You
because
gotta give
you
them
give them an idea.
sometimes give them a physical push.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah. It's part of yeah, the experience. Being an experienced person on a stage is
Hmm.
learning that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty wild because even being on the drums,
Hmm.
with my experience being on the drums, if I just open the hi-hat a little bit more,
Hmm.
the crowd starts to get into it more. It's crazy. It's just like,
The drummers have so much control. The
yeah.
drummers, I feel like, are the low key pilot of the ship.
Yeah.
And
In a lot of
you're
ways.
such a good drummer. You're such a good drummer. Like
Oh,
your drums are like you have a Ringo Starr style of drumming where it's just you're playing perfectly to the song, and that's like the I think the most important skill for a drummer, and you do that so well.
thank you.
Yeah,
Keep it simple.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's the goal. I'm not there to show off because I don't have many things to show off. So
But
I
that's not what
just,
music is about. Music is about making the whole song good. It's not just about showing off, you know?
yeah. Do you play other instruments?
I mean, not really. I can play the bass a little bit, and I can play a bunch of other instruments like pretty not well and okay.
Yeah.
Um, but no, I don't. I can play the piano a little bit. I'm not a great drummer though.
When you write, how's it? Because I know you said it's not much of a collaborative effort at the moment, but like when you write, do you have like a beat in your head, or do you like how do you bring it to the group?
I feel like I'll just play guitar for a couple hours, and then if I know there's just like something clicks when I'm playing when I write a song. It's like I know this is going to work with drums, and that's very rare. But once in a while, those come out, and I'll bring those to the band. And but I have to write like a lot of really not great songs to get one or two good ones, you know. But it's always like it feels like something clicks with it. It just feels like it kind of like I don't want to get too like spacey, but like David Lynch always talks about like ideas as you're fishing, and it's like you catch an idea from the creative ether, and I feel like if you just sit with a guitar for long enough for enough days in a row, eventually you'll catch like a song or something, and usually I just know it clicks, but it doesn't happen very often. Honestly, it happens way less than I want it to. Um, But if something just clicks, and then I'll bring it to my bandmates on the occasion that we get to practice.
Yeah, on the
Yeah.
occasion. Hello again, another brief interruption of the conversation here. I wanted to let everyone know who's listening that while I'm off the road, I'm actually a certified hypnotherapist, which means I use hypnosis to help people with different issues they're having in their lives. And my specialty is working with musicians because obviously I know the ins and outs of everything that a musician is going through. So for this season, for season 3, I actually released a free hypnosis session for musicians. It's a recording. It's about 15 minutes long, and this is for anyone who wanted to try hypnosis who's a musician. And I also work with non-musicians, but because this is a music podcast, I released this session. So check out the links in the description below to take a listen.
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
you tend to like I know a lot of people these days and I think it drives a lot of people crazy. They tend to practice like, okay, we have a show. We got to practice like then we have the show, or do you have like a try to do a regular thing with them?
Um, I think I try to get a few in the months leading up to shows because I
Nice.
hate the day before practicing. It just that never goes well for me, and I don't want to do that anymore. So I
Yeah.
try to get like at least three in before a run of shows or something,
Yeah.
just to so I gotta get on that before
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 you
the spring.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
know. Isn't it weird how fast time goes? You're like, oh, it's in 3 months, and then it's tomorrow.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's life, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's cool though, because about the song thing, because you ever hear that pot what do you call it, like ceramics analogy? There's like a ceramics class, and there was a
Mm,
the teacher said, okay, they split the room in half, and they said, okay,
mhm.
this side, um, in the next week or two or however long, you're gonna make as many pieces as possible, or cups or bowls or something like that
Yeah.
as possible. And then the other side, you're gonna spend the time making one perfect cup or
Mm,
bowl. And what happened in the end was the people who were making multiple had like a lot of really like perfect ones, and
uh-huh.
the ones that weren't doing multiple and just did the one, they like couldn't get it because they weren't practicing, they weren't. And so it
R-
reminded me of your song fishing analogy, because that's just the way it is. Like, you have to write a million bad songs, and then there's one that's like it actually
Yeah.
sticks and sounds good. But if you sit down and you're like, I'm gonna make one perfect song, it's gonna probably suck.
It's gonna be so bad. It's gonna be the worst song you ever wrote if you go with that mindset. It's gonna sound like shit.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it just has to like happen, right? Like it just has to
Literally.
feel good while it's happening.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah,
You have to make just a bunch of clay pots and then eventually you get one or two a couple sweet ones in there.
yeah,
But
yeah. And
a
then
lot of a lot
and
of
then you
trash
pay
to sift through.
thousands. Yes, and then you
Yeah, and
pay
then
thousands to put it on EP. Yeah,
yeah, that on a credit card, and
yeah.
then you spend 3 years paying it off.
You pay for the EP 3 times because of the interest.
Yeah, you write a song in 5 minutes, and then you spend the next 4 years suffering because of
Where did you record that EP that you just paid off?
um in North Carolina in Asheville at Drop of Sun with this guy Alex Farrar, who's really awesome. He's so good, and it was such an awesome experience. I just was like a little bit um I wouldn't say manic, but I was like, I'm gonna just go to this great studio and pay a bunch of money. And it turned out great. I loved the songs that we did, but it just took me a while to pay to pay for it because I don't have a record label. Um, but yeah, that was Alex Farrar. He's really awesome. He's put out a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people don't know how much musicians pay to record music.
if you want to go into a studio like that's, decent, it's gonna cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like a lot of money.
Yeah. Like
Like,
thousands.
yes, like car payments of money.
Yeah.
Like a whole car,
Of money.
maybe two cars of money.
Two cars. Two used cars or two new cars?
I don't know. I think too much money.
Two.
Multiple rent payments. How about that?
Oh, yeah. And
Yeah.
then yeah, it hurts. But the thing is, even if you had a record label that did shell that money out,
Yeah.
you'd probably be paying it back in the form of not getting any money back from any, if you sold it physically or anything like that, you wouldn't have gotten anything this whole
At least,
time.
but at least the music would be made. I'll, s-
Hmm.
I'll, I'm at the point where I can't make the music I want to make because I don't have the money to make it. But
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. It's like give and take. Choose, choose your path. Which one is better? Which one is worse? I don't know. But here I am,
Hmm.
you know.
You know who I really love, who
Who?
I need to get more involved with, and hopefully someone out there listening is this person, but those producers slash like multi instrumentalist type people who work on a percentage base.
Mm,
So they work for free, and then they just take royalties from you until you pay back the recording. So there's no
that
like out of pocket thing.
that exists.
Yeah. But I don't hear about it often, but I do hear about it, and I'm like, I want that person in my
That's
life.
ideal. That's an ideal situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they're out there, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, if anyone's listening, like
Yeah.
send an email to us both.
Record my album for free and you will make your money back in 20 years.
Yes.
So just, yeah.
Yeah. It's like people who really believe in the music will do it. But that's
Yeah.
the unfortunate thing is like people have to like musicians you have to like strike a deal or you have to pay for it for, 3 years or whatever. And then it's like in order to get that money back, it's like really really hard. Like did you release that EP on any physical format or was it just streaming?
I have no merch right now, and I
Oh,
haven't had physical merch in a long time.
okay.
So I've never put out, I don't have any vinyl. I don't have any CDs. It's all been streaming. Yeah.
Yeah. So the return from that EP is just the streaming
Yeah,
revenue.
just royalties that I
Yeah.
have used to like pay the credit card,
Yeah. And
essentially.
is it on Bandcamp?
No.
No. You gotta put it on
Should I
Bandcamp.
put it on Bandcamp?
Because at least someone could give you like $1 and then, it'll be
Maybe I should
worth
do
it.
that. That's a good
You should
idea.
start a Bandcamp. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Okay, I might try that.
Yeah.
Do people use it still? People will still like pay money for stuff on there?
So yeah, last year I put my discography up just
Yeah.
for I was like, you know what, whatever. I'm just gonna like put it up for I don't know. You can put a massive discount on it, and I had like I don't know 5 or 6 people buy it for like I don't know $50 or
That's
something.
but that's a lot. That adds up.
Yeah, yeah. And if I didn't do that, it was offering me to do that for like a year and a half, and I was like, no one's gonna want my discography, and then they did. So
I'm gonna do that. I'm
yeah,
gonna just put my discography up there and just you can buy all the songs right here.
yeah, yeah. People do that. I don't know what they do with the files. I know one person who still uses an iPod. Um,
Oh, right.
yes, but I don't know a lot of people who they buy it and then they use it somewhere, maybe their phones. But people really love supporting musicians, and I wanted to talk about that today because I feel like there's such a
Yeah.
big talk about like Spotify not being good for musicians because you get
Yeah.
0.000000001 cent per stream, whatever. Um, But like for you, when someone wants to like support your band, I know you don't have Bandcamp, which is like a sin. But like, what do people do if they, or what can they do if they actually wanted to support? Because I feel like there's listeners out there who actually really love music and musicians and want to actually help people pay off
Yeah.
their EPs. You know, like what's the
You
best
could
way
just
that you've gotten
you could
there?
just post a QR code to my Venmo right here.
Oh
No,
yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. That'd be maybe I'll start a Bandcamp and then they can buy it on there. But I mean, I feel like for me, something as simple as like commenting on something that I posted and just nice things, like encouraging words in the DMs, or just street. I don't know how to. I don't know.
I
Um,
know. It's tough. It's like it's tough because you don't want to be like buy all my things, but at the same time,
if
that's
I
like
had
a
merch, I would suggest to buy it, but I don't have any merch right now.
yeah, yeah. You'll get there. You'll get some
Yeah,
stuff.
10 years in, I'll get merch eventually.
Yeah. You never had
No, I get merch before tours
okay.
to start, but I don't have any vinyl or official CDs or anything like that.
Have you ever done vinyl?
I did a run of vinyl once a few years ago.
Okay.
Um, that was it though.
How did
Like
that go?
the small ones, what are they called?
The 7 inch,
Yeah.
45s.
Yes. That was I still have like two or three cases of them,
Okay.
but that EP is lost in the ether, I would say.
You,
Um,
you know what's good for bringing back lost EPs?
mhm.
TikTok.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I brought back like a lot of old songs on there. It's crazy.
Interesting. Like you just are like I recorded this song back in this time, whatever, and people are like, "Oh shit, what the fuck?"
Kind of. Or I just go like actually what it all started because randomly one of my songs on Apple, like an old song from like 2014, started getting a lot of plays on Apple Music in
That's so
like
random.
2024. And so I just posted like, "Oh weird, this song's getting a lot of plays." And then everyone was
Yeah,
like, "I like this song." And I was like, "I
right.
guess I can talk about my old songs
You can
again."
promote your songs from like last decade. You don't even have to promote new stuff.
You don't. It's
I guess I
crazy.
didn't really think of that. That's a great idea. The
Yes, and
fuck?
yes, and it was the song was on an old EP, and the old EP started like I still have like 50 left of the vinyl, and it was selling again because of like TikTok.
Okay. All right, you've planted a seed in my brain.
Yes, I'm glad we had this conversation so that I could.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Well, honestly a lot of artists yell at a lot of other artists to start a Patreon, and I've never jumped on that one
Right.
because I am scared, I think, because it's like it seems like a lot of work.
Yeah, it's like a full-time thing because you got to keep creating content that people are paying for on there, right?
Yes, but
I don't
like
think it's a bad idea. It's not a bad idea.
no.
But you got to like supply,
Yes.
you got to provide.
Yes. And then the people who have Patreon members, they're like, "No, you don't. Like I take off 2 months at a time." And I'm like, I couldn't handle having people pay me
Mhm.
like $5 and then me being like, "Sorry, next month." I don't know. But that's the
I
only
I
one I haven't jumped into.
I haven't. I have been thinking about like how am I gonna get funding for the next record I want to do, and I don't know how yet, but I've been tossing around ideas of ways that I can maybe get people to donate to something and I give something in return. I don't know, but I feel like I'm not going to be able to record unless I get funding from people in some way or shape or form. I got to figure it out.
Do a raffle.
Do a raffle, yeah.
Yeah.
Do a yeah. I don't know. Okay, let's do a raffle.
Yeah. You know what? I just want to say that that is like a big reason why I started this podcast too, is just to
Hmm.
talk like what you just mentioned is like literally the problem is like musicians don't even have the funding to record, and
Yeah,
then there's all these butt heads out there who are like making AI albums with a
right.
click of
Yeah,
a button, and then you're like, I can't record right now even though I
it's
have all these songs.
awful. I
Yeah.
hate AI. I hate AI so much. And it makes like I saw a clip of like Joe Rogan on the internet talking about how he listens to only like AI 50 Cent songs from the 1950s.
Whoa.
And I can't tell you how mad that made me. Like, you're on this huge platform and you're telling people to listen to 1950s soul versions of 50 Cent songs that are AI. And it's so degrading to like every musician out there who's like dedicating their whole lives to a craft. And you're just like saying the only music you listen to is AI. That shit made me so angry. But that's a whole other conversation
It
and
is.
topic. But yeah.
But
AI music is atrocious. It's atrocious. It's fascist. It's not good. It's anti-human. It's bad. That's my thoughts on that.
yeah, oh, I'm glad you're sharing it, because I had a friend who like a year ago sent me an album that they made with AI, and
Mm,
his friend does not play music, not doesn't do it at all, can't play a chord on a guitar,
mm.
just fed it some lyrics and had like a pretty decent sounding mixed mastered album. And my heart just, it just like cracked in half that day. And he was like, isn't this funny, isn't this so much fun? And I was like, so not fun about it. I was like, I hate this, like this is like the end of my life. Like what do you.
Well, that's how they want to market it to people and present it to people that it's just this fun thing you can do. It's like it's fun, it's funny, it's no big deal. It's no no, I didn't ask for it. I don't remember anybody I know ever asking for that kind of technology. Just
Yeah.
because you can make it doesn't mean it's right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I
Yeah.
don't know. That's a thing that I guess everybody has to deal with and figure out now that I
Mm-hmm.
don't have the answer for.
Yeah. um
No shade to your friend though. I'm not no shade to your friend, but
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
yeah, if you just like, cause I a year before that I was like feeding my an AI thing like, oh, turn me into a cartoon character.
It
Oh,
was
that's
well, it was
funny.
fun in the first like half a year that it was fun for a couple months.
Yeah,
And then
and then it got dark. It got like really dark.
yeah, it's very dark. It's I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what's to come. Maybe I'm completely wrong and society will completely evolve, but I don't think so. It doesn't feel right
Yeah.
in my gut. It doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel you. A couple more questions.
Yeah, let's
Uh, from the moment that you decided you wanted to do Shred Flintstone to now, what has changed with your perception of like the music industry in a whole, like a whole sense of it, like the dream that you had
hmm.
about it, like what it would be like versus like the reality of what it actually is.
Well, when I started, I was like, I'm gonna make the best songs in the world. I'm gonna blow up. I'm gonna like be this huge band. And you have this like the whole thing that a lot of musicians right at the beginning of making music all feel. And over time, it's like I've evolved and matured, and it's like I'm making music because it's within me, and I need to, and it's part of who I am, and that anything like outside of that is not really up to me. That's the universe's decision. What is made of what I make, as long as I make it and put it out there and do my best and express myself to the fullest. All that other stuff that is exciting and seems fun, and it's not, at the end of the day, it's not up to me. It's not up to me how the world receives my music. It's up to me to make it and the best I can and do it because it's like it's giving my life purpose and it will affect some people in a positive way. The amount of people it affects, how it affects them, that's not up to me. But doing it to actually create the make the world around me better the best I can is the main motivation now. When it used to be like the flashy, dreamy stuff, now it's like it's more real and centered in myself, I would say. It's that's been the evolution, I would say, of yeah. Does that answer the question? Does
Yeah,
that
yeah, no,
yeah,
totally. Yeah,
yeah.
because yeah, I feel like yeah, where it comes from is it you know, even I don't know. It is trippy being like a musician that plays shows, writes stuff. Like it's just I don't know. I feel like I feel like a lot of people some people they just stay in the flashy thing and they're you know
Hmm.
they're in this dream but I don't know being a musician is so strange because your identity is so intertwined with it and you play these shows and you get all these compliments sometimes you know and
Yeah.
then like staying grounded in like the real reason of why you're doing it is like super important and it's regardless of how it's going, if the flashy stuff's happening or not or whatever, like just keeping that that whole like seed that was inside of yourself like safe is
Yeah.
like such a great place to be in. Like I think it's like the place to be in when you're going to be doing music because if not, it's like it's an easy world to get like lost in kind of, you know?
Oh, it's so easy to get lost. And now that I'm talking about this with you, I'm thinking back to you asked me earlier what made me start playing. And this is relevant to this answer because what actually now that I'm thinking of it was laying in my bed at night as a kid with my iPod in, listening to music, like listening to some indie art, like Pinback or something like that from that era. And just connecting to the songs in such a deep, such like a healing way for me at that time, in such a comfortable way, in such a exciting way. And that was like when I was like, oh, make someone, I want to put music in people's ears like this and have them feel what I'm feeling. And I was like, I want to be a part of this. That's that was the initial made me pick up a guitar. Now that I'm thinking of it, was I just want to be a part of what is going on here. And then that's down the road is when the flashy stuff starts to pull you in and make you want that. But before that was I just want to be a part of this, whatever this is.
Yeah.
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 So coming back to that recently is has been really important
Mhm.
for me to keep going. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
without that, I kind of just crumble in on myself without
Mhm.
knowing that. And I have no desire to do it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. I love that you've talked about that a lot in this episode because I
Mhm.
remember you did make a little post that kind of alluded to all that. You're like, I didn't know really know what I was doing for a minute, but like I can't stop, so I'm here.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're like, so I guess I keep going. Um,
Yeah. This is kind of the details behind that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, it's good. It's totally relatable in a lot of ways,
Mhm.
and I'm happy that you're talking about that and you're thinking about that and you're feeling that because that's like that's I feel like anyone can relate with that even like just people who are listening who don't play music like they're here they're
Yeah.
listening because they're part of that thing you know like that
Be
give and take.
because it's like I feel like something that's been a little lost is with social media is everything is about the like success in the frame of capitalism or our society. And it's almost like you're not supposed to talk about your feelings. You're not supposed to be vulnerable or show anything outside of what's deemed like the route you're. I don't know how to phrase what I'm trying to say, but I don't know. There's just like genuineness is missing in a lot of ways, and I don't know. It's just the path for me is to be authentic and not get lost in all that other shit because I can't handle all that other stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I do feel like people kind of used what when I see people being in quotes genuine, a lot of the
Hmm.
time they're like trying to sell some course or something at the end of
Yeah,
their,
yeah,
they're like, I've been having a real hard time, da 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 da, and then they're like, so buy my $5,000
yeah.
course to like you can feel better too, and I'm like,
Which makes
oh,
people cynical and turned off by being open and genuine on the internet. So it's a weird place to be. It's a weird time in yeah, it's a weird time. But
it is,
that's where I'm at in real life here in my real life.
yeah,
This is what is going on,
yeah,
you know?
yeah. It's important to just to be true to that and like, yeah, and with everything in the world happening today, it's like
Yeah.
musicians especially, it's like the best thing you could be is just this light in the madness,
Yeah.
who's holding it through.
Music formed my political beliefs, I feel like, just
Hmm.
like, yeah, you got to stay true, like you said.
Yeah, thank you so much. Is there
Yeah, dude.
anything you would like to say to everyone before we get off
Um,
of the call?
just remain authentic and what think about why something is motivating you. Is it because of our culture of capitalism is telling you you need to manifest and succeed in a way that's been prescribed by some wealthy corporation CEO, or is it like something from deeper within you that's motivating you to do what you do? That's been what I've been learning recently, and I'm still learning. Oh, and I was gonna say the last thing. I was another thing I forgot to say was very important was my high school chamber choir teacher, Mr. Wynn, was like the first person that ever gave me an opportunity because I was always rejected by basketball teams and sports and stuff. But I tried out for chamber choir and he let me in. It was kind of like my high school musical moment. And like athlete went to music and that was actually really what inspired me to start playing too, was being accepted. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
The people like that in your life are so important.
Yeah.
Someone who could see something in you and they go, yeah, go ahead, you could do it too.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
That
It,
has a huge impact on people, especially when they're young.
yeah, yeah, I agree. I've read that story a lot. Like you see different stories where someone's like, I never knew I was good at art until one teacher one time told me that like they liked my picture. Or like
Yeah.
a babysitter was like, wow, you're talented, and now they're like a professional artist or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's huge. That's huge. And because I come from a musical family, I kind of like just grew up in that, but I know friends who do music who they really needed that, like that person to show them that they could do it
I
too.
needed that. I definitely needed that at that time in my life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mr. Win.
Shout out to Mr. Wayne.
All right. Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and stay tuned for future episodes. Make sure to subscribe or follow on whatever platform you're listening on so that you can get notified when the next one comes out. All right, bye bye.